It's your boy. We have a little problem with the Jeep. My wife calls me and says it is overheating really badly, so I told her to pull it over immediately, and I'm meeting her in the parking lot. So let's get to it. All right, I've already started working on the Jeep, guys. I got the intake tube off, trying to get to the thermostat and the housing down here. A little issue, I have a little oil in the throttle body area. See that? So I don't know what to think about that. But the main issue is it still overheats. We cannot get it to produce heat inside the Jeep. So I'm thinking it's a bad or stuck thermostat. So we're gonna fix that. And if that doesn't work and it still overheats, we're gonna have to bleed the coolant system. Fun stuff. And I'm doing it in the middle of a parking lot. True mechanic. Okay, first, when you're replacing anything on a car, make sure it's the right part. Examine it, take it out of the box, looks right, thermostat, here's the housing. And also line it up with the part that's already on the vehicle. So it's gonna, set in here like so. Lines up, the hose is gonna connect to the back half of this. So yeah, that's all good. Well, let's get started. Oh, we gotta stay hydrated. It's pretty talented. I got 3 hands. I didn't let you guys know that. All right, guys. What I'm doing now is I'm taking the C-clamp off of the radiator hose down here that's connected to the housing. See if you guys can see it there. Right there. There it is. We're going to remove that, and then we're going to undo this right here. There's 2 bolts right here. We're going to just pop it on out and put the new one in. So for the main bolts to your thermostat, you're going to need a 10 millimeter. You could get by without using an extension. I'm going to have to because I don't have one. We're in the middle of a parking lot. So yeah, just undo the bolt. There should be one on top here. We're just, like I said, oh, it barely gets by. So we're going to have to break it loose here. Yeah, it's guys, you probably do need an extension, honestly, if you don't want to struggle. But once you break it loose, should be all right. If you're doing this in your garage, get an extension. We're gonna undo the top bolt, and then there should be one on the bottom. Let me see if I can get to it. You might actually need an extension for that one. No, barely. But guys, I advise you to use an extension just to get some clearance out to this little part here. All right, well, we're gonna do it the hard way. Let's get these bolts out of here. All right, we're getting the old one out right now. Get it off this hose. All right. Hopefully there's no liquid down in there. If a little bit of liquid comes out, oh well, not worried about it. All right, here's the old one. Honestly, it doesn't look like it's bad. I don't know. So here's the new one. Look exactly alike. So you can tell there's been miles on this one, but this one's brand new. So hopefully this fixed the problem. If not, it looks like we're gonna have to burp the coolant system, and I will show you guys how to do that. It's a lot of fun. Make sure you guys look at what you're doing, because I'm trying to hurry up and do this, and I know that's bad, when you're working on a vehicle, but I'm just trying to get it home so then I can, inspect it further and see, what's really going on, because we have a stain over here that looks like it blew something in, through the roof here, and we got, it's like brake fluid right there. So yeah, there's something else going on. But what I was saying, back to this gasket, O-ring, whatever you want to call it, make sure you look, because most parts have new ones on it. This one has one already set inside of the thermostat here, so we don't need this one. This one's junk. Don't know where that went. I'm pretty sure it's over there. We're gonna see if it goes on much easier. Oh yeah, much easier. Line's right up now. Yep, stupid mistake. All right, guys, I'm getting the new thermostat on as we speak. Like, it's a very simple job, honestly. Probably be even easier in your own garage, but for a parking lot job, it's not too bad. Now, cross your fingers. Hopefully this is gonna work and get us a couple miles up the road, so I could really, run some codes and see what's really going on with it. Like I said, cheap fix. Might not be the problem, but it's cheap enough to, cancel it out, if you know what I'm saying. Like I said, the part was only like $30, so Not too bad. If it's in your price range, go on and just get a new one. If you think it's part of the problem, just to cancel it out. You know, just weed it out. Start from cheap to expensive, and hopefully you'll fix the problem before it gets too bad. All right, well, we got the new thermostat and the housing on right here. So yeah, everything's bolted up. Should be all right. You only want to hand tighten it. Don't over tighten it, you'll crack it, and that will be bad because then you have to buy a new one. So just hand tight on that. We're starting to put the intake tubes back on, and that's gonna be easy. Just turn the clamp to where you need it and tighten that down, and yeah, we're just putting it back together the way you took it apart. And most stock Jeeps aren't going to have aftermarket intake tube, so whatever your Jeep, if you have an aftermarket or if you don't, I'm pretty sure it's similar. The tube's going to come out this way. So yeah, just bolt it back up the way you took it apart. Alright guys, that's the last bolt. Make sure, because I almost forgot, plug your sensor back in. Alright, make sure everything is good and tight, back on. Like I said, we're running an aftermarket cold air intake, so you guys might be different than ours, but still works almost the same. You're going to have a tube, you're going to have your throttle body, you know, so just mimic this, even if you got a stock Wrangler, and you should be good. Yeah, and that's it. Let's go start her up and let her run and see if she overheats. Again, this might not be the fix. The idea is just to get the Jeep home so I can look and see what else is going on with it, you know, so hopefully this will get her home. All right, now before it was really overheating fast, so we're gonna give it a minute. Let's see what happens. It is 90 degrees, so it's hot. All right, guys, so we have the heat blasting. The temperature is holding steady right where it should be. Well, from that angle, it probably looks like it's over the middle, but it's right before the middle. It's where it should be. Yeah. Right there in the middle. We're gonna let it run a little bit longer and see if we can't get her home, and then figure out what's going on. That wasn't the main issue. We got down the road, it started overheating again, doing exactly what it was doing before. We're about a mile from the house, so it just literally drank a whole thing of antifreeze, and all we got left is water. So we're going to power through this and get it to the house. This side is not even hot. All right, that's weird. That's cold. This side is really hot. All right, yeah, there's something going on with the radiator. We're going to have to get it home and probably take the whole front end off and see what's really going on. Stay tuned, guys. All right, my car gang. So we did make it back, barely. It was really overheating. And on top of that, as soon as we pulled in the driveway, I'm telling you guys, it looked like a freaking waterfall. I mean, the coolant in the water was just dumping out the bottom of the radiator. So it is a radiator problem. So we're gonna have to replace it. The problem is the part isn't here yet. So I'm gonna go on and start taking the front end of the Jeep off and probably just take the old radiator out just to, you know, make it easier. So when the new radiator comes, we can just pop it in, fill it up, and see if we can get her back on the road. You wanna start off with excellent lighting. So guys, what I'm gonna do first is take these pins out. You have one here, 3, 4. So you have 4 pins this plastic piece is being held on with. And then we're gonna take the grill off, which is also held with pins / plastic Christmas trees, whatever you guys wanna call these. Yeah. And some of them are probably gonna break, so make sure you always have like backup, like a whole bunch of these. So I can't tell you how many of these I have broken because they refuse to come out. All right, let's prop under here like this, and okay, good, it fell all the way through. That's always a good thing, is when it falls all the way through. All right, so we'll get that one later. Okay, so next is the grill Christmas tree pins. Now these are a little bit different. You're gonna pop them up. Do not take them totally out. And then you're just gonna, well, that one came all the way out. The whole thing is supposed to come out. Just get underneath of it and pop the whole thing out, just like so. Or I guess if you don't want to be extra like me, just pop the center pin out like that. Feel free just to take it out. Just don't lose it. And then take your little pry bar, crowbar, plastic removal tool and just pop it out like that. So make sure you don't lose the pin. When you get the grill pins out, it's just going to lean like that. And guys, don't forget to undo your little parking lights. It's a little clip like that. Just make sure you undo them so you don't yank them out. All right. Then the grill is ready to be popped off. All right, since the last time I recorded, guys, a lot has happened. Ended up taking the bottom piece off that goes like right up under here. It was like 3 big Christmas tree bolts. Just pop them off, it drops. Right now I'm trying to locate the leak. So we're going to dump antifreeze through this just to see where the leak is going to be. We're going to see how that's going to work. This should be absolutely bone dry. So yeah, we're going to run it through and we're going to see where the leak might be. All right, let's roll under. It was all coming out right here, so we're going to see. I don't want to drown though, so I might just leave the camera. All right, we're just trying to locate the leak. Might be tougher than we thought. I'm hoping it was going to be a hose and not the radiator itself, but it's getting ready to drip again. But like I said, there it goes. That can honestly be coming from anywhere. I'm trying to see if there's any cracks or anything visibly wrong. I don't know. Starting to drip more and more. Okay, so what I'm doing now, guys, I am going to remove the coolant reservoir, and we're gonna see. It looks like it's just dangling there, like the thing is like moving all over. So I'm gonna take it out, and it will open up, and I can see the hoses below it. See if maybe we have a punctured hose or what we have here, but that's what I'm doing now. It's a little Christmas tree right there. It's a lot easier than I'm making it look. I'm just doing it one-handedly. Now remember, guys, when you're removing the reservoir, that square notch goes into a groove, just pull it straight up and it comes straight out. That simple. Okay, guys, once you get the 2 bolts off the top of the radiator fan, you're going to have another one on the side here. I don't know if you can see where my ratchet and socket is, but it's on the side of the fan. You got one there, and you're going to have another one on this side. They're going to have to come out. Okay, so we're back again. This is a different day. What we're going to have to do, I left off on trying to take the fan out. I did get the bolts off this side, but unfortunately to get to this side, we're going to have to take the intake and the box and filter off, because the box comes right here and our bolt is over here. So we're not going to be able to get any tools down in there unless we remove this out of the way. So let's get started. All right, we had to remove all that to get to this one bolt, guys. Oh my goodness. The grill is starting to get on my nerves, so what we're gonna do is totally take it off. Like I said, it's easier probably if you went on and just pulled the whole thing off. If you've gotten this far, you've already taken the top clips out. All you have to do really is just pull. The bottom clips should just pop. Just like that. Just take the whole grill off. Set it to the side, so now you have this big open area. Now what I'm going to do next is disconnect this sensor. All you have to do is push the tab and pull it, and it just comes undone like that. It's that simple. Okay, so once you unplug your sensor here, you're going to move down the wire to this little Christmas tree, and your light is going to totally just fall. That happens sometimes, guys. Oh, goodness. All right, guys, where were we? Shoot. Oh, you have just unclipped the sensor for the fan. So what you want to do is go down the wiring harness, and you're going to stumble upon this Christmas tree right here, and you're going to want to undo it to get the wire out of your way. So just slide your remover tool here and just pop it. Hopefully you won't break it. All right, so once you get it loose, just move it out of your way, like so. What's up, guys? I'm finally back to the Jeep. Okay, it's been about a week or two. Me and my wife did go to Ireland for a week. Yo, look at this. Guys, this is absolutely amazing. Wow, oh my goodness. I love castles. And I'm in the middle of one right now. Whoa. So the Jeep has been sitting apart. So it's time to actually put it back together, replace the radiator, and finally get her back on the road. Okay, so where we left off, I am going to take the top hose off, and I'm going to take the bottom hose off right here. I don't know if it's still got liquid in it. Obviously, a lot of it did spill out in the pan down there. So we're going to see. All right, so what we're going to do is take off the upper radiator hose, and then we're going to move on to the lower. All you have to do is have some pliers, vice grips, whatever you need to get around this clamp. Push the clamp together. Now, it might require some strength, so push it together, wiggle, and pull the hose off like that. Now, if you haven't drained it, it will leak. That's normal. Don't freak out about it. But since the radiator's already screwed up, it's already leaked all the water, all the antifreeze out, it's gone, so we're good. Moving on to the lower radiator hose. Okay, so once you did that one, you're going to move on to the lower one, which is right here. Same style clamps, guys. I'm not going to be able to do this while holding this camera, so I'm going to try to set the camera up and give you an angle on unclamping this hose. Okay, that's the best angle I could get. So let's try to undo it. That's this one down here. I'm going to try to get it together. All right, that one still had some liquid in it, so we're gonna have to clamp that hose off. Go get my clamps. Figure out how to keep it upright. Will you stay there? Will you stay right there? Wedge between. It's not gonna stay there, is it? It's just gonna leak out. I'll mop the floors later. Yeah, unfortunately, when you're working on cars, you're gonna make a mess. So I'll just clean it up later. No big deal. But let's undo the bolts and get this radiator out and put the new one in. All right, so the bolts you're gonna need to undo to get the radiator out is you got over here two 5/16 socket, which is a small socket, goes right over it. But here's where it's weird. It switches it up. Over here, it's two 10mm, one here and one right there. This side should be pretty easy to get unbolted. This side, however, one of the bolts is tucked up underneath this. So I'm gonna have to find a tool that's gonna allow me to angle maybe a socket, maybe an angle on a socket wrench or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out though. Start off with these. Simple and simple. All right, now you got your 5/16 socket. You're gonna come over to this side, undo that bolt, and hopefully it did not go all the way down. Oh no, there it is, okay, good. And then the other one, we're gonna have to figure out how to get to that one. And the same side, we're gonna have to figure out how to get to the bolt tucked behind this metal framing here. All right, well, I'm still trying to find a tool to get that 5/16 bolt out. We do have 10mm bolts right here where the bushing is. So we have one on the back side of this plastic piece, We have one on that side, and I'm sure we have two at the bottom. So get your 10mm extension on your drill, line it up, and I'm sure it's going to be more difficult than this. Get it out like that. Hey, that wasn't that bad. I really didn't. Oh, torn. That whole thing fell. Oh well, it's just a water bottle. All right, well, it came halfway out. Because my drill was in an angle because of this washer fluid reservoir. So, yeah, we might have to just crank this out by hand a little bit. When you take the old radiator out, make sure you keep these rubber pieces right here. See if I can get a good angle. Let me turn my headlamp on. Yes, these pieces right here, they are rubber. Make sure you keep them because I've noticed some new radiators, when you order them, don't come with those pieces. So anything that you can pull off, keep. Because you might need to transfer them onto the new one. Yes. All right, if the audio sounds different, my mic quit working. So I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know if it just quit altogether or what happened, but it quit. So the audio sounds different. That's why the mic died out. All right, so what I was saying was these bolts back here, take them out. I just discovered doing it with a socket that you can move, you know, side to side socket to line it up better, is probably the best way to do it. I was doing it the hard way, but yeah, I found one of my adjustable socket pieces. So that's going to make this a lot easier. And remember, take that. So the bolt did come out fairly easy after I found that adjustable socket fitting. Yeah, so I'm keeping all my radiator bolts in that tray and all my other random bolts and stuff on the bumper just because it's easier for me to do it that way. I got ADHD. All right, so taking this piece off, it's probably on the lip. Yeah, it's actually wedged in there. So just slide it out when you can, but remember, keep this bearing because I don't think the new one's gonna have it. So I'm gonna stick it there. All right, it's kind of loose. Start working on the other side. Let's get the other one off. Also, grab the drill, do the same, get the bolt out and put it in your little special tray. Now get this rubber piece out. Just slide it on out. Well, your brake fluid might be in the way. Try to edge it out. That's not gonna work. I'm just gonna end up just, you know, guys, if you can't get to it and take it out, you can always just take it off when you remove the radiator. All right, guys, so I found out you can use an adjustable socket piece with a 5/16 socket. Just, you have to be really careful and make sure you're always holding it on there to back these screws out for the radiator, or that's gonna happen. That's a perfect example why you have to be careful. They're really hard to get through. Yes, you're just gonna be a pain in the butthole, ain't you? Come on. I know, guys, there's probably better tools to use, but that's all you boys got right now. Oh, come on. Or is that enough to do it by hand yet? Obviously not. See, guys, the joys on working on cars. Oh my goodness, guys. That was a struggle when it shouldn't be. The two 5/16 bolts, I mean, I guess if you had the right tool, it would have been so much easier, but I'm really unprepared, I guess, because none of these flat wrenches would fit it, and I had to use this and manipulate. Yeah, it was just a lot more painful than it should have been. All right, well, we got both of them out. So I think we got all the bolts out for the radiator up here. Now we're gonna have to go to the bottom side, and there should be at least two more of these down there, I think. And should be ready just to pull on out. It's never gonna be that simple. It's more like we're gonna have to manipulate it out because it's probably gonna get hung up on a lot of stuff. This though, guys, you shouldn't have to take out the cylinders, you know, all this stuff. You should be able to leave in there. And there should be enough room just to pull this straight out. and put the new one in. Now, like I said, you're gonna have to take some of the parts from this radiator, like these bushings, you're gonna have to put on the new radiator. You're gonna have, well, when I pull it out, you can see it clearer. These little rubber pieces back here, you're gonna have to take those off also and put it on the new radiator, but we'll worry about that when we get there. But yeah, let's take her out. Okay, so as I'm looking for bolts to undo to get this radiator out, guys, I see one hidden right here. Yes. All right, guys, sorry for the fan noise, but it got really hot in my garage, so yeah, the fan's on. All right, so what I've just figured out, there is another bolt. It's hidden behind these lines right back here, and the only tool to get to it is this little 5/15 wrench. Yeah, we're definitely kicking it old school. This is gonna take forever.
A few moments later. More moments later.
But the last bolt should be down here beside the horn on the radiator. I know you can't really see it in the camera, but it's down there. So I'm gonna go on and take that one out, and hopefully we could just pop the radiator out. So just gotta remove this last little bolt. It should be an 8mm. And then the radiator should be ready to take out. So when you get done with this side of the radiator, getting that 8mm out, you're gonna move over here with your crowbar tool, go up under this plastic piece and this rubber piece. You're gonna pop it up and you're gonna move it backwards like so. You're gonna do the same with this side. You're gonna get up under there. It's probably a much delicate-er, if that's even a word, tool to use other than this, but this is all I got. So that's what we're gonna do. If you have the tool to properly, you know, a plastic tool to get up under there and then crank it up, go for it, but this is what I'm using. All right, get up under there, crank it up, and pop it back. Okay, so now once you have moved it back, you're gonna take these retainers out. Just take your trim tool or your little pry bar, get behind these little plastic retainers and just pop them right out without breaking them. It should just really just pop, honestly. I don't know why they gotta be all extra for. Well, there we go. I'm getting behind you totally. All right, now do this side. Pop. And pop. Okay, so I was still looking for hidden bolts and I found another one right here on the driver's side. It's got the lines in it. Right there. So that's going to be another 8mm. And of course, what I'm using is an extension on an extension and an 8mm. So that should clear the fender guard and let you be able to take that bolt out. All right, so we do have clearance and it is coming loose. All right, we got that bolt loose. Yay. There's a lot more bolts on here than I thought. All right, so we got the new radiator here. We are going to open it with my safe tool. Ooh, brand new, shiny. All right, look at that. Brand new. That is awesome. So side by side comparison, new one, nice and shiny, old, crusty, nasty, and leaking. But here's the thing. When you order a new radiator, most of them don't come with the extra like bushings and stuff like that. So you're gonna have to transfer some parts from here over to here. like these little square rubber pieces. You're gonna have to take these off of this. It's fun to do it with one hand. You're gonna have to take these off. You're gonna have to put them on the new radiator. Like so. And also your little bushings up here, you're gonna have to take these off. They should just slide on out. And you're gonna have one on each side. Doesn't matter. So you're gonna pop that one on, and then my other one's over by the Jeep, so I'm gonna get that later. Also need this right here as it continues to leak on the floor. It's mostly water though, so that's good. All right. That over here like that, so that is good. All right, guys, after several attempts, I finally got the radiator back in. I'm starting to put the Jeep back together. Oh my goodness. Getting this in and lined up was a pain in the butt. I'm not gonna lie. It took several attempts, but I finally got it. So right now I'm in the stage of putting the grill back on, putting the intake system back in, and then we're gonna burp the system, fill it up, let it run, get all the air out of the lines because it's totally empty. This is a brand new radiator. So yeah, we're going to use a non-spill gravity funnel. We're gonna fill it up, and then we're gonna drive it around, see if it overheats. All right, so I got everything back together. I got the reservoir back in. I got the cold air intake system put back on. I got the fan. I got the guards put back on. The only thing left I have is the guard on top of the engine, and then the plastic piece underneath the Jeep. Other than that, I'm fine. So I'm gonna go on and pour coolant into the system to see if we have any leaks and everything, and we'll go from there. That's a lot of air. Guys, I'm using a no-spill funnel, gravity funnel. Helps keep the air out of the system. All right. Okay, so the Jeep's been running for about 15 minutes. It's basically releasing air bubbles. That's what we want it to do. It's warming up. The temperature's warming up. The thermostat's going to open up. The fan should kick on. So it's doing what we want it to do. So that's good. All right. It's getting warm. You can also squeeze this hose, kind of agitate it to release more air. That's what you want. All right. Fan should be kicking on any time. Gonna have to let it run for a minute. That's a lot of air in there. And word of advice, you want it to be about this level. You might be able to get it up a little bit more. That's about it, because once it starts boiling and getting hot, it might overflow and start going everywhere, and you'll just create a huge giant mess that you don't want to clean up. So it's running good so far, guys. So this process could take up to about an hour. Every time it runs out, guys, you're gonna have to refill it. So I got 2 things of antifreeze. Hopefully that's all we're gonna need, but you just never know how much air is trapped in the lines. And this is what you try to avoid. All right, I'm gonna have to shut her off. You try so hard to avoid making a mess, but sometimes when it heats up and everything turns on, the thermostat kicks on, It happens, guys. I was really trying to avoid this, but it does happen. Good thing is we can clean it up, a lot of it up, and resume. See how it's settling now because it's starting to go back into the system. Oh, I'm off. All right, that's weird. Yeah, so it got really hot. Like you can feel this. Yeah, it's hot. So it just boiled over a little bit. No biggie. All right, looks like she has settled down. So let's start her back up. All right, just sucked all that back down really quick. Whoa. Let's give it a minute. I've already put almost a whole jug of antifreeze in there. Yeah, we do not want that. All right, turn her off again. goodness. It's the second time. Alright. I've officially made a mess. Oh, dude, I was trying to avoid this. But, I mean, it gets hot, it boils. That's really hot. Alright. I just don't know. I mean, I think I fixed it. Like I said, we can put all this up. Alright, guys, sorry for the loud noise, but I have the heat on. So far, I've been driving in the Jeep around. It's been running for a while. And the temperature gauge is right where it should be, right before the middle. And on the camera, it looks like it's right in the middle, but in reality, it's like right, like a hair before the middle. It's where it should be. I've been driving the Jeep around. The heat works great. Unfortunately, I don't need the heat in 90-degree weather, but I have to make sure it works. It works great. I think we fixed her, guys. She is back on the road.